Hi guys, it's Beth. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Bringing Back Basic Grey collaboration that I am doing along with my friend Sarah over at Crafting and Relaxing. This is just a little collab that we're doing with each other because we found that we both love basic grey, which isn't, they don't make basic grey paper anymore, and we had both been hoarding it, and so she agreed to play along with me for a little bit each month using and enjoying some of that paper that we've just been hoarding in our stash. So this month for Basic Grey, I am making a scrapbook page, and I'm actually going to make it along with you because it's a pretty quick page and it's ready to go. But I did want to talk about, I had some of these pages that I had made as a make and take from Archivers years ago. Archivers has been closed here for a while, and probably 9 years or so. But I had kept these in my stash because I don't scrapbook anything this size. But I had kept it thinking that I could somehow turn it into a 12 by 12 page and then use it in my normal scrapbook. So I had 3 sheets of this paper in my stash. It's like little flowers. And so I decided to go ahead and make a layout incorporating this, 6 by 8 maybe page that I had made at Archivers long ago, and incorporate that into a 12 by 12 layout that I can use. So I have already pulled out from my stash the full 12 by 12 sheet of this paper right here, and it is reversible, and I'm going to be using both sides of it. And then I also have this border strip that is also basic grey, and it was from a, I don't know, one side was like this pink with print with bubbles on it, and then the other one was just a bunch of borders. And so this was left over from something that I had cut off, and I have gotten better about saving tiny scraps from my crafting projects. If it's small enough, I do go ahead and recycle it. Except for Basic Grey, I have been saving everything just so I can make the most of the paper that I have left. So let me go ahead and get started on my layout. Okay, so I have all my pieces already pre-cut and ready to go. And I showed you before that I had that sheet of the Basic Grey pattern paper already trimmed in half, and I'm going to utilize the yellow half as well as the floral pattern on the layout as well. I just wanted to make sure to bring in both sides because I wanted to have that yellow kind of as a contrast. And one thing that I forgot to do, because I had the page was already planned out before as well, but I meant to punch out some stars out of the side, the end of that yellow paper before I adhered it down, but totally forgot about that. So here I'm just putting that little border strip down at the bottom of my yellow just to kind of give it a little bit of something else at the bottom. And then realized I did have a little bit of overhang on my cardstock, so I want to trim that up. And then now I'm going to bring in the floral side of that paper. And it's funny because I always thought they were, I think, lemons, until I looked at them really closely and then realized it's actually flowers. And I'm going to just kind of put that at a right angle or perpendicular to my yellow strip there. One of the reasons I wanted to bring in the yellow side as well is because I wanted to kind of use it as a mat for one of my other pictures. So I'm going to bring in my pre-made page now, and just make sure I get a good amount of ATG on the back of it, since it does have some embellishments, nothing overly heavy, but I do want to make sure it's going to stick onto my page. And I just wanted it to overhang onto the brown and yellow just a little bit, bring in my pictures. And then for embellishments, I don't have any Basic Grey embellishments, but I did find some Echo Park, kind of vintage mail embellishments, some cut apart pages that I had that kind of coordinated fairly well. So I am bringing those in, like that bingo piece right there is one of them from Echo Park. And I forgot that I had wanted to tuck that behind that yellow strip So I did have to peel that up again and then add some Barely Art glue just to kind of re-adhere it back down to the page. So now I can get my pictures on. And I did pre-trim out this one of Shawn and Avery. I had to trim it pretty thin so that it would fit on that little brown label, fancy label there that was intended as a mat on the smaller archivers page. And then we'll put Avery there just so that I can use the yellow as a mat. And then I'm using my sleeve to kind of press them down and kind of buff out the fingerprints that are on there. So here I'm just kind of bringing in, I had some other stars that I had punched out of some coordinating blue and tan, and trying to figure out how I want to arrange them, since I forgot to also punch out the yellow stars. And I brought in stars just because there were already stars on that archivers page. I've already pre-written my journaling, and I did die cut out a label just to kind of go with that fancy label, the brown picture mat there. And on the archivers page, the stars that weren't already like dark brown, where the edges were either inked, or I used a dark brown pen to kind of add stitching. So I did add some ink to the label that I used for my journaling, but I didn't ink the rest of this page. One, because I didn't really want to take the time, and two, I had used the little, it was a cat's eye chalk ink in brown to ink the edges, and I didn't have anything that was going to match that really well, and so I didn't want to have, a different color. So I just decided to ink whatever was going to be on the archivers page and then not worry about the rest of it. I'm so glad that I finally got to use those little pages I made from archivers and incorporate them with some of the basic gray from my stash. Sarah's channel will be linked below, so please be sure to check out what she made with her basic gray this month. But thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.